Hey guys, so this is another video. We're going to try and do this weekly, by the way. We're going to be reading out your comments on cringy games or things that have just happened at your table.
Yeah,
so,
we like if your stories are entertaining, we will get to it eventually. So we will.
And before we start the video, just going to let you know, guys, that over on our old channel, the links will be down below. The next brand new part of the All Guardsman Party is out on TTS.
This video
it should be.
This video is going live at 10 o'clock. It's premiering at 11 o'clock. So more than likely, if you're watching this video,
it'll be like an hour away.
It'll probably be out by now, by the time you're seeing this video.
So go have a look at that if that's something that you're into. And then let's get into the video. Alexandru Bogatu, Electro Depiction. What a name. Not very exciting, but a story I have is the first time our table has seen a gamer moment. It was a D&D game in person, made out of complete strangers that I've never met before. But it all went smooth, even with a guy that was DMing for the first time. One of the players was a cleric that always rolled amazing and rarely failed. The rules were legit. They have been done in front of us. Until one unfortunate day. That day he failed every single roll, and getting a nat 1 in initiative was the last straw for him. He fisted the table multiple times so hard and loud that he looked so angry that the whole store went silent and everybody on the table just froze out of shock. The guy was wearing glasses and was skinny and always quite quiet. We never saw it coming with so much aggression. After a few moments of dead silence in the shop, he said, "I'm good now," and played as if nothing happened, and we pretended nothing happened as well. After the session, we all had a WTF just happened back then moment.
I mean, look.
Sometimes you just need to get your anger out. Mine is punching my pillows on my sofa into the right shape. That's how I get my anger out.
It's very constructive, very, at least it's, you're producing something at the same time.
Yes.
You know, look, I've seen worse, if I'll be honest with you. It's pretty mild.
Variable Hunter. I got one. I'm currently playing a Nations RP, where you run a nation and interact with the other players' nations. Think pen and paper Civ.
Do you Catan?
Do you Catan?
I Catan. I've never Cataned in my life. If you guys don't know
anytime we're in a game store and James sees Catan, he looks at me and goes, "Do you Catan?" I'm like, James, stop.
I kind of want to pick it up, just for the pure meme.
Absolutely not. It's set in an early 2000s world. Nations have all IRL tech equivalent. Example, mine is Locterra, a theocratic autocracy with a British tech equivalent, so Challenger tanks and Harriers and whatnot. Anyway, there are two big rules everyone's to follow. 1. No double tech equivalents. So you can't have 2 Americans or 2 Polands, for example.
That's kind of one-sided. Let's be serious.
I know.
This day and age, there's only a handful of actually genuinely good
especially
nations.
In the 2000s.
Yeah.
And 2, it has to be grounded in reality. No zombies or crazy science fiction until we hit the late 2050s. Then you can have grav tanks and energy weapons.
Honestly, this sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
Actually, this sounds like a really cool game.
So this furry joins.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
And immediately breaks 2 of the rules. His nation is these cat people that he picks the US as a tech equivalent. One of the first people to join was the US equivalent Corptocracy. We tell the guy to fix it and he proceeds to pick France as a tech equivalent, but keeps saying his nation has US equipment that never made the final cut into service. Like super planes that carry armies and whatnot.
Honestly, the French have got some pretty cool stuff. I mean, I would be pretty happy if I had France. I can already hear the comment section for that.
Fast forward a little later, and we get a femboy nation that has a tech equivalent of the 1920s Germany. The first part is the real issue.
Absolute Weimar.
The femboy.
Was he a femboy now? So he's okay. So he's
no,
a furry.
this is a different one.
Oh, right, okay.
The femboy really is not an issue, but the furry continues to bitch and moan about how the game is story focused compared to mechanic focused. I hate to be that guy, but if you don't like it, don't play it. I'm going to invade the furry nation though. I want to drop some high quality conflict, no, on the cheetah men and wear their Mongol hides as capes. I'll update when this happens. Please do.
We do. We need an update
on
this.
An update.
Are we going to have a situation like Kuwait? I want a situation like Kuwait.
Yes. This one's from Big Kev.
You can't be called Kev and not be called Big Kev. Big Kev or Wee Kev.
When 40k Apocalypse came out, the old version from 2007, the local shop ran a massive game of it, advising players to bring a 1,000 point of tanks and other vehicles. Me, being the guard player with more money than common sense, bought a beam blade and a shadow sword. 2 massive tanks to non-40k players. Thanks for
just for Megan.
telling me that.
I think Megan's the only one that needs to be told what a beam blade is, if I be honest with you. What was it the first time you got it? You called it a bam blade? Is that like a bam hammer or something? What are you on about?
the latter not allowing saves of any type to models that fell under the clear green circle template of doom it shot. More on that later. In comes a kid, around 12 to 15. I don't remember their action. And their dad. Know them because the kid has a reputation for flipping out when losing or anything not going his way. His dad was just there to make sure he didn't get too out of control. Not sure if there was something there or just very entitled. He brought a massive blob of orc trip, bragging right away about how his leader made them invincible with some relic force field or something. He's placed across from me at the table, because of course he is, and starts loudly being obnoxious about how my expensive tanks are going to be scrap, guards suck, orcs rule, blah blah blah.
I've never heard of a bad orc player before in my life.
I know, normally they're all pretty chill.
Yeah, I've actually...
Until the WHACK and then...
Yeah, but normally orc players are, across the board, pretty cool guys.
Yeah. When the game finally starts, he gets to my first tank and destroys it. Whatever, it did its job and just keeps playing. Turn rolls around and I shoot into his blob with the second hit and wound all of them because D-weapons were scary. Cue a nearly 20-minute shouting fest when he learns that not only does his precious shield get ignored, but anything that it hit was now dead, including his leader, the majority of his boys, and another player's rhino caught in the blast. Argues with me, nope, show him the rules that says ignores all saves. Argue with other players, same result. Argues with the game organizer, again, same result. By the time they had made it to the store manager, they were throwing a tantrum unlike anything I had ever seen before or since. Things getting tossed, people from the next shop over seeing what the yelling was about. When the manager told him no, the rules is right, he ran and tried to jump on the game table.
Oh my god.
Where if it's not for his dad pulling him kicking and screaming out of the store, a lot of overpriced plastic would have been smashed. When I went in a few days later for paints, his figures were still in the store and his dad pulled him out so fast he could give the CIA pointer. Never heard from them ever again. Always assume he was banned for life. Honestly, probably.
Yeah. What else do you do like that situation?
I know.
Like
but like, if that's him at 12 to 15, like in that range, what the hell is he going to be like whenever he's like 25?
Well, if you don't sort that out in that age group, like,
I know.
Realistically, you should have that sorted out before that age group. But like, if you're still like that age group, it's kind of hard to.
I know.
Get it out of you. You know what I mean? So. Oof.
This one's from Arza. I'm learning the game and I'm playing AL. I've been playing Borderlands with my friends and decided to make a character based on Tiny Tina. If you're not familiar, she's a young psychopathic explosive expert.
Well, I would love to be familiar, but Megan doesn't like Borderlands. She won't play it with me.
It's not that I don't like it, I just don't like the art style.
Yeah, the art style is a bit much.
So I rock up with 13-year-old orphaned, cannibalistic, pink tiefling celestial warlock with sharpened teeth. She's unintentionally made a pact with a unicorn by slapping his badonkadonk. Please don't use that.
Badonkadonk.
Don't make me say that, my guy.
Badonkadonk.
We sit down to game and find that we are hunting an undead T-Rex on the island of Schultz. To locate the monstrosity, we visit a tribe of Aarakocra. It's getting late, so we'll spend the night before climbing back down. A party mate, youth pastor type, and recently wed. He's a great guy and a lot of fun to play with. Takes a shine to the female Aarakocra who's guiding us. The first time he has expressed any interest in a female NPC. He tries to convince her to share her nest for the night.
You gotta look out for them Christian ones. Like, they're the boys that are into the little wild stuff. Like.
Yeah. The table waits with bated breath as he makes his persuasion check. Garbage. Another fellow at the table burns his inspiration to let him re-roll on persuasion. Garbage again. The whole party groans as our mate strikes out hard. The lady Aarakocra states politely that she isn't interested and turns to leave. When she hears a voice. Lady? She turns to see tiny Tina Fey, head down, looking at her feet as she shuffles them. I'm feeling lonely and wonder if I might be able to spend the night with you. Persuasion check. I rolled well. She was in. The table erupted. Tina curled up in the fetal position like an egg and slept the night in the Aarakocra's lady's nest. We beat the T-Rex too, but the little tiefling girl cucking the grown man was the highlight of the night. That's good.
I mean, you put yourself in that situation, that's all I'm going to say, alright?
I'm going to butcher this.
Alakai
Souza? Yeah.
We'll go with
That'll do. The worst and most cringe experience I've had comes from trying to play Adventure League at my local mall.
I mean, that's what you can get for playing Adventure League at a local mall. I'm sorry to say.
I moved to Spokane, a town that's pretty close to Idaho, from Hawaii. I got into D&D and wanted to try 5th edition, so I went down to the game store to try out this organised plaything. The DM was someone who couldn't get into a game to play and was thrown to help show the newbies an introductory session. I wanted to play out my character, a tiefling fighter. Our DM decided to run trouble in Green Nest. Now, an important part of this story. I didn't set out to play my super special snowflake tiefling OC type. I wanted to play a fighter who used a heavy crossbow and had a fallback scimitar for melee. I wasn't sure in race, and the DM suggested tiefling. I asked if it would be fine to be a tiefling and if I'd cause any problem, and he said no. So I made my character and joined my party. We got a 14-year-old with a ranger raised by wolves, a sorcerer trying to bug test this game like a bored QA dev, literally trying to derail everything, a 50-year-old barbarian and his also 50-year-old wife, whom I'm pretty sure were homeless, unwashed, and talking about where to sleep after.
No, they were not.
No
were they
way.
Actually? That's actually pretty funny. Beast homeless people.
A life cleric normie guy, the coolest guy at the table, and me, a fat guy playing a tiefling fighter I'd made 5 minutes ago. In short, in the 1 hour I played, the ranger shot and ate the face of the first NPC we see. He was trying to warn us of trouble in Green Nest. The sorcerer kept trying to walk the opposite way or walk off in random direction and got railroaded by the GM.
Honestly, I've got no problem with DMs doing that to someone. Like, honestly, see if it's the one person that's really trying to be difficult. It's we're going this way, guys. No. So that's what's happening.
The 2 homeless people had no idea what was going on. And me and the cleric were trying to advance the plot. We get to Green Nest after getting to a farm, and despite the feral wolf howling ranger and weird-ass sorcerer T-posing. Yes, he said specifically his character T-posed at the farm.
I mean, he's not the only character that I've came across to T-pose. Like, I think we've all T-posed at some stage, Brian.
My tiefling gets singled out as a troublemaking devil spawn for saying, "Hello, can you tell us how to get to Green Nest?" Turns out Green Nest, with this DM running it, hates non-human. Like, Burning Mississippi style hates them. The DM doesn't let them re-roll my race for this, and instead offers that my character can either wear an actual slave collar and pretend to be a slave or stay outside of the city. I stay outside the city because F that. The feral human ranger raised by wolves, because he kept saying he was, pisses on a guard's spear to mark it as his. The sorcerer attempts to cast mold earth to sink the guard into the ground. Neither of this sets off the guard, but my character, standing arms crossed outside the city wall, waiting for the others to get back, gets immediately spotted, harried, and almost arrested by the town's guard, whom I'm railroaded into giving both my crossbow and all my gold to keep from being thrown into the stockade. The game stopped because the homeless couple got caught trying to steal a PHB from the store, and were asked to leave. The sorcerer got bored with the railroading and left as well, so it was me, feral ranger, and cleric normie. The DM called the session and I left. Turns out, looking into it, Green Nest isn't some racist hellhole, and the DM was just projecting his Idaho views into his module. And that was the first and last time I'd ever tried Adventure League or any organised play-to-play tabletop.
Honestly, I want this as a campaign. I want this to be like a full story.
Yeah.
It's a pity. It has so much potential lead up to make like a complete multi-part storyline, but sadly it just didn't work out. I want to know more about the homeless people.
Yeah,
I want to know more about the sorcerer. I want to know more about the feral, what was it, a druid again? I can't remember. Honestly, I feel like it had something going here, but it just didn't seem to pan out. But there is something about, what is it with adventure leagues that just...
I know, it seemed to...
They always
go wrong.
They just do. I think, the problem is, the more people you bring into a game, the more difficult it is to actually run and handle that game.
The more clashes of personality, I think.
Yeah.
As well, happens, and then that's when arguments and...
Everything else
happens.
And it just boils over. And honestly, just enjoy smaller games, guys.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to go about it. It sounds really cool, having like almost like a weird MMO style role-playing game, but it's really not, because it attracts some of the worst of the worst, and it's just not fun for the most part. It's not something I would recommend for anyone. I get why a lot of places try to do it, but I just haven't really seen them ever be done very well.
Psst. Hey, lean in closer. This is a fucking ASMR channel now. You know it's pretty fucking based. Titties. Go see titties. Lots of titties.
All the titties.
Go over to the website, check out all the models. You guys know the score. We have some really nice looking models over there. And we have a lot of...
Sci-fi gothic?
Yeah.
Let's call them sci-fi gothic.
And if models isn't your shit, We have loads of subclasses, and we keep adding them every other week or so. We add a lot.
We got a lot.
Look, we've got big brains. We add. But yes, go over to the website, check out everything. If you haven't subscribed, what the fuck you doing? Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell as well, and let's get back to the video. Every week we're going to be doing a giveaway of the new pinup model of the month, or if models isn't your thing, all of our homebrew content. If you want to be in with a chance to win the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. That's it.
Do it now.
But last week's winner was this guy. Well done! Yay! Round of applause. Everybody stands up and claps. But enough of that. Let's get back to the video. This one's from Jessie Darren. If you guys are looking for more stories, then I have a story of a time I played with a skilly DM. I barely met the guy in Roll 20 and realised that I'm the only player that's in the game. What? That's okay. I'm new. I don't mind learning more about the game before I get the chance to play with others. DM agrees to run the game with just me. There's a cave of kobolds attacking caravans on the road. I bum rush the cave and BTFO the first few of them at the entrance. I slowly fight kobolds 2 at a time through small tunnels until I get to a bigger section of the cave, with enough room to fully stand. I catch a glimpse of a kobold running away. I lose sight of them once they've reached the turn in the corridor. The kobold looks female. Okay, whatever. I follow. I reach a room filled with beds and a bunch of feminine-looking kobolds with anime-like icon pictures. But they're still kobolds. They're just drawn in anime style. Look, you know what I mean?
Yes, we know exactly what you're talking about.
They tell me I killed all of the males. I check for weapons. No weapons. I insight for signs of aggression. No signs of malice or aggression. I tie them up.
Oh, this is where it goes bad. Okay.
I tie them up. I don't want them sneaking up on me while I'm looking around for loot. Ergo, or whatever, you know. What
can I get a hoya? How do you do that? What's the anime noises that they make? That's gonna end up being Garbu's
I know.
ringtone now, you know that?
Oh, what a big strong man. What are you gonna do to us? I breed them all 5 times over. 20 female kobolds multiplied by 5 equals 100 in total. Hee nice. I'm the only player, remember? Who will know of my sins? JK, I'm not a degenerate. I actually just lit the place and released them. The DM was a dude. I'm not having phone segs with a guy role-playing as 20 kobold girls. I was polite about it despite being a little weirded out. I did have fun and we laughed about it, but I never went back.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That guy wanted a one-on-one ERP session.
That's exactly what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
He's like, look, guys, I'm really that desperate at this point in time. Could you just sort me out, please? Please touch my pee-pee. Please, I really need you to
pretend to touch it.
just say you would. Just please, just lay down up.
This one's by El Toxic Dog. This is how I was sexually harassed by a furry at work. Be me, Taylor Bodum, seeker of the TTS voice, diner for Neckbeardia. Yeah,
he did. He sorted me out nicely. Also, if you guys haven't seen it, Mule Garden Party should be getting posted within an hour of this being uploaded. So check it out.
A brand new part.
It's full.
My guys.
It's a finishing off of the penal regiment segment, and there's only going to be one more. Well, Shoggy says 1 or 2 more threads, but he really wants to do it in just 1 more thread. So it's probably going to be like 3 years away, though, guys.
Yeah, it's come on. When I was 27, I worked at a local grocery store as a janitor, and I had a co-worker who was 18, male, with a hairline of a 60-year-old man.
Yeah, I've got a good...
I'm really joking.
If it was that bad, I would have shaved it, right?
We'll call him Aragon, because that's what he said his name... That's what he said his name as an arcane wolf was. Don't ask. I don't know. Or want to know what that is. Yes, Sam. The guy wore multiple different dog collars during his during his shift. Had Bad Dragon stickers on his truck. And would tell us about his fetishes when you damn well did not ask about them. and would blame others for not wanting to be around him because they wouldn't accept him.
That sounds very bigoted. That's very bigoted. I'll have you guys know you should have to listen to these things. This is harmful. Alright?
On the night of the incident, I was mopping the staircase. It was plastic vinyl, not carpet. Near the end... Nobody even thought... Okay. Near the end of my shift, an Aragon is telling the girl working the Starbucks about a sheer lace skirt he likes to wear. I'm in this stairwell, which is an echo chamber, and say, why does that not surprise me? Aragon shouts, say that again and I'll throw this knife and I won't miss. Aragon is holding a 4-inch knife from the produce section. I finish mopping the stairs and get my cart so I can go find a manager. But Aragon is right behind me and asks if I want to sleep with him. I turn around to confront him only to see that he now has 2 knives and they're both being held, so the blades are resting on his wrists. Wait. So he's like this.
Oh, right. So he's doing like some ninja moves then, are we? Right.
I ask him not to do that, only for him to say, don't worry, I have a lot of experience playing with knives, and proceeds to stick out his tongue while scraping the blade against the skin of his wrist. I leave because F that, and spent the rest of my shift writing up an HR report. Did they fire him? No, just suspended him for a week. I should have brought a lawsuit against that company. I don't work there anymore. Fortunately.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, no, they should have fired him. He came at you with knives.
Yeah, and it's like, do you wanna touch my downstairs? Yes, touch my downstairs.
At least he wasn't wearing the lacy skirt.
The thing is, finally, like, the people making these decisions never have to interact with them on a daily basis, so that's why they're gonna just keep them.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, that's the problem. I don't know. The thing is, this one wasn't actually tabletop related, but I wouldn't be shocked, and he sounds like the type of guy that you would have got into playing Vampire the Masquerade. Just saying. Yeah. He screams Vampire the Masquerade player to me. Also, I may have ordered the core rulebook for Vampire the Masquerade. Don't judge me, guys. I'm really interested in it. I would really love to give it a go.
This one's from David. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
Magog.
James is saying Magog, and I'm saying Magog. A guy I know by the name Stephen was playing a Goliath Barbarian in a game I was player in. Stephen is on the spectrum, but not too bad condition-wise.
I mean, like, but the thing is people that are they're completely fine, and then there's others that are like Chris Chan.
Yeah. So he's on the spectrum, but not too bad condition-wise. But he was spoiled rotten and left his own devices.
That's how it gets out of control.
That's how you get Chris Chan.
Yeah, it is.
He spent 90% of his time at my local game shop and flirted with any girl regardless of their age. He was 32, but looked 15. Now his problem in-game is he had main character syndrome. No matter what you were doing, he had to be involved and leading the conversation. He was also a murder hobo. One of his misadventures, he and a random NPC were brawling on the deck of a ship over a stolen alchemist jug because beer was rationed, and he was promptly thrown in the brig. Then he wrecked his cell, screaming and banging his cup on the bars, making him stuck in there for a 6-month boat trip. This happens in the first week of the trip. He was eventually let out once we approached the capital city, where we were heading for work. At which point he jumped overboard because he wanted a bath.
I mean, like, this is
There's no punctuation in this. At which point he jumped overboard because he wanted a bath. This happened in front of customs/navy boats, where he was promptly shot with a harpoon and presumed a stowaway or a trafficker. He then got full body cavity searched, where he said, and I quote, "I flex my anus muscles to break their arm."
I think that's kind of beast, not gonna lie.
Now, the guy doing the cavity search was a kobold slave by the name of Jeeves. The poor little bastard lost his arm, and that guy got sentenced to death for assaulting a customs agent. He had acquired his new hemp-made tie by the time we made through customs, at which point the guards didn't give a shit and gave us the body. He was bitching about dying, but we didn't have a cleric, we had a druid, so it was reincarnated. He became a human, then this motherfucker made a joke about the size of his pickle going down. And out of spite, the DM made him roll for it, going for it. This is turned into wordslip. After a large amount of childish giggling, he ended up with a mic. And literally nothing changed. I have more of him, but I would need to check to see how much of what I remember actually happened to the others.
I mean, I want to hear more about this guy.
Kinda, but reword it better, my guy.
Please, punctuation. Megan has a hard enough time with punctuation.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're going to end it today. again, this is a series that I really want to continue with, so if you have your own stories, definitely post them down below, and I want to do this as a weekly thing. I want to get more involved with you guys. Also, as you guys know, the Orgasm Party should be up, so go check that out. It's on the old channel. I didn't want, Megan was saying about posting it on this channel, but I don't really want to split it up. You know, I'd rather just
keep the link for the old channel will be down below.
Yeah, check it out.
Go and check it out. It should be up now.
It should be up by now. By the time you're watching
this. By the time you're watching this, it should be up. It's a long ass video, guys.
It's like 2.5 hours.
It's a long ass.
You guys have waited a very, very long time.
I'm not recording it. It's in text to speech, by the way, so I'm not breaking it up.
Yeah, well, so, I would really like us to keep going with the voiceover one when it's all finished. I don't like doing it now because it's our story that you guys already know. You guys already love it. There's a lot of other people on YouTube that already are covering the story.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of feel like I'd rather us just do other stuff a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So maybe we might do it in time. Who knows, whenever it's all over. Also, I have been talking to Shoggy about possibly the idea of doing a Kickstarter for models. You know, he is interested in the idea, but he doesn't really want to commit or say anything until the whole story's finished, and then he's gonna think about it. But you know, we'll
just have to see.
Exactly, we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys,
let us know your stories, cringy stories down below, and
anything and everything. As long as it doesn't need to be cringy. If it's entertaining, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. And while you're down there, check out the links to the website, the models, all that good shit. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!